The other night, using a Newtonian reflector, I was looking at Mars in Gemini. But anyone that knows me will realise that I soon get drawn away to look at what other double stars there are in the area for me to view at. And I found a star called Mebsuta in Gemini. And so, first of all, how do we find Gemini? Well, when we look at Orion, we go from Rigel through to Betelgeuse or Betelgeuse and carry on until you come to the two brightest stars in Gemini. The top one of which is called Castor, which is actually itself a double star, but what we'll do now, we'll do a little bit of star hopping until we find a star called Mebsuta. This one is about a third magnitude, so it should be easy to see from a dark sky location, a bit more tricky if you live in towns and cities. And it has a companion, a line of sight companion of the 9th magnitude, so it's quite faint, but again, from a dark sky location you should be able to see it, even with binoculars held steadily on a tripod. So it's of 9th magnitude, and the separation between the two is about 110 arc seconds. And to give an idea of scale, that's about 2.5–3 times the width of the disk of Jupiter, so it should be quite easy to see them both in the same field of view, to split them. So while looking at this double star, there's one thing I noticed, and then a second thing that you may not have thought of, and it's an interesting aspect of astronomy, is where you use your imagination. And so bear in mind, I was using a Newtonian reflector, so the image was upside down, back to front. And so what you see may be slightly different to this if you're using a refractor or a Schmidt-Cassegrain, for example. But with the inverted image of a Newtonian reflector, there was many more other stars in the same field of view, around about 8th, 9th magnitude. And this is where you start having a little bit of fun and making out shapes within the stars, and I could see a flying saucer, I could see a coat hanger, and if I'd have spent more time I could have maybe made more shapes out of all the stars in the same field of view. And but also Mebsuta, the star itself, it's around about 840 light years away and 8.3 million years old, and it is actually a super giant red star, and it has a luminosity of around about 7,000 times that of our own sun, and it has a diameter of around about 15 times greater. And so this is where you have to start using your imagination. Imagine if you was a planet, if you maybe an Earth-sized planet, the same distance away from it as you are to our sun, which is what, 93 million miles. Would it be habitable? Would it be engulfed by the star itself? Would anyone be alive? If it was, would you have a good suntan? So this is where you need to use your imagination. What would it be like in a planetary system around such a massive supergiant star? But also, it's at 8.3 million years old. It's relatively quite a young star, but already it's nearly used up all its supply of hydrogen, and so very soon it could go supernova, and that would be quite something to look at in the night sky with telescopes on Earth. But if you're on a planet nearby, probably wouldn't be so much fun. And so that's a quick look at Mebsuta, a double star for you to try with a small telescope or even binoculars in Gemini. Try to have a look before the brighter spring skies get here. See what you think to it, not just the double star but the surrounding area, and then again use your imagination. What must it be like to be near a star like that? And even binoculars, you may not notice it with the naked eye, but even binoculars will bring out that vivid red colour. So there's something for you to look at. I could have picked a much easier or well-known double star, but I like to pick out the unusual things, challenges for you to try and find with a small telescope or a decent pair of binoculars. And so yeah, I hope that helps. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.